I got my first client without a testimonial, without a fancy website, or without an aesthetic workspace. So if I'll do it again this 2026, here's how I'll do it. Hi, this is Leng. I am an executive assistant for 4 years and I'm also the founder of SwiftDesk. And for today, we are back with another video where we will be talking about how I will be looking for a client if I will be doing it the first time again. So let's talk about where I was before I found my very first client. So as you all know, guys, I worked as a customer service representative in the BPO industry for almost 5 years. So I would say I have a strong set of skills in terms of communication, organization, and tech savviness. And I felt like that time it was a great start for me to become a virtual assistant. And when I started to apply, I applied in all the job posts in Upwork and online jobs, which is really, really wrong. I literally applied as a cold caller even though I don't have background in sales. I applied as a real estate VA even though I don't have any idea how to do or how to coordinate transactions. I applied as a social media manager even though I don't have any background in marketing. So if I will be looking for my very first client this 2026, this is how I will do it. Avoid mass submission and focus on the quantity. So what do you mean by that, Miss Leng? Before you apply or before you send out a proposal to a client, make sure that you did a thorough research on the company's website. Make sure you know what is the specific problem that you can solve for that client. Because in that way, you can tailor your pitch, your proposal, your resume in that specific opportunity. Because guys, I will be honest with you. If you will focus in sending an application, let's say in 1 week, 10 applications, mas higher yung chance ng return instead of you applying sa 100 different jobs per day. Trust me. Next would be learn and understand your chosen niche. So for example, you want to become a GVA, a bookkeeper, a social media manager, a podcast VA, a cold caller. You need to make sure that you at least know the basics. Basic skills, basic tools, basic services that you can offer. Because guys, what you need to take note of, clients don't want to hire VAs that are willing to learn or willing to be trained. They want to hire VAs that are willing to grow. So when you say you are willing to grow, dapat from the beginning gumawa ka na ng action para malaman kung ano yung mga dapat mong alamin sa chosen industry mo. And then you will be growing alongside with the client. Kasi if you don't know anything about your chosen craft, iba yun. Like your client will be training you on what needs to be done instead of you growing alongside with the client and learning and upskilling with your client along the way. There's a very big difference in that, guys. Lastly, make sure that you have a clear resume and portfolio because guys, your digital files are your representation. Remember, we are working remotely and virtually with our clients. So wala silang way to know you, na makilala ka, na alamin kung ano yung mga kaya mong i-offer, kundi sa paraan ng pagtingin sa inyong mga resume and portfolio. Next, let's talk about how I landed my very first client. I remembered I created different profiles in different platforms. And I would say, mas maa-advise ko pa din naman yun sa inyo guys if you want to create different profiles in different platforms. But these are the things that you need to take note of. First tip would be optimize your profile in the best of your ability. I will reiterate that again and again and again. What you need to keep in mind, guys, so once you send that proposal, that application, that resume using that specific platform, for example, Upwork, OLJ, Indeed, LinkedIn, what your client will be seeing is your profile sa platform na yon. So for example, you submitted a proposal from Upwork. Okay? What your client see is the message and then if she or he will be interested in working with you, i-check niya yung profile mo. So, if your profile itself doesn't have a bio, doesn't have a tagline, doesn't have a very good summary, doesn't have a work experience, wala. Sayang yung iyong pitch, sayang yung iyong proposal. Kaya uulit-ulitin ko to sa inyo guys. Optimize your profile. Next, I know that AI platforms are very useful and very great nowadays, but never ever let AI create your bio, your tagline, your summary, or like the bullet points in your work experience. No. Because trust me guys, clients know if ang inyong summary, if the sentence, the paragraph, or anything was created by an AI. Guys, AI can be automated, it can be a very great tool, but it can never be a human being. Tandaan nyo yan. What I can suggest, hindi ko naman sinasabi na hindi ako gumagamit ng AI. This is how I use AI when I am optimizing my profiles. So, I create the draft. So, if I see na merong mga grammar lapses and I want na i-correct siya, I use Grammarly to correct my grammar or mas i-improve siya. You can also use GPT. Kung anong gusto nyo, go lang. Pero again, draft at least the summary and then ipa-revise nyo lang. So, in that way, way, hindi naman siya totally ginawa ng AI lang. Kasi again, iba pag human touch or may human tone yung inyong summary, mafe-feel yun and mababasa yun ng client nyo. Trust me. Next, let's talk about how my mindset was working before. Before, when I was starting as a VA, I thought highlighting all my skills are top tier, but I was wrong. So, if you are looking for a client this 2026, shift that mindset, guys. Shift that mentality. Erase, 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 because it doesn't work like that. Instead of you mentioning or enumerating all of your skills, all of the services that you can offer, pinpoint the problem that you can solve for the client. Again, pinpoint the problems that you can solve for the client kasi mas tatatak yun sa client nyo. Imagine nyo na nagbebenta kayo ng something. Kapag binigay sa inyo yung benefits, parang, I don't need it, I don't like it. But, if that product answers a problem na meron ka, di ba nakakatch yung attention mo? Di ba parang gusto mo siyang bilhin, you wanna say yes, and that's how you do it. Another mindset na super nagpahirap sa akin when I was starting is that I am so afraid of rejections. And guys, rejections are a blessing in disguise. Hindi kayo dapat matakot sa rejections. You know what? I heard this somewhere else. Alam ko dito rin yon sa YouTube. He said that for you to be ready for that one sweet yes, you need to learn how to accept that 100 no's. So this 2026, if you sent a proposal or you attended an interview and you got rejected, don't feel bad. Instead, use it as a motivation. Like, revise your profile. Check your resume if there's anything that you need to change or you need to edit, you need to revise. Take note of the feedback na binigay ng client or ng hiring manager and grow from there. Tignan mo kung ano yung need mo pang i-improve so that when you attend the next interview, na-address mo na yung feedback na yon. And then if you got rejected again, then it means there's another room for improvement, and then you showed up for the third interview and you get better and you get better and you get better. You get what I'm trying to say? Because if you will become a virtual assistant and sa rejections pa lang mahina na ang loob mo, trust me, hindi ka tatagal sa industry. Sa freelancing industry, patibayan po ng mental health, patibayan ng loob. So, practice as early as now. Pagdating sa mga rejections, na-reject, mag-move on, learn from it, and then boom, next application. Lastly, when I was starting, I thought credentials, perfection, and motivation are the most important things in my journey, but I was wrong. What you need to focus when you become a VA this 2026 is how you can earn the trust of your client. Because guys, trust me, one of the biggest or one of the strongest foundation that you can build with your client, kailangan ng tiwala. If your client doesn't trust you, the working relationship is kinda, hindi siya steady. So, instead of over-promising, be honest with your client. Be honest of what you can just deliver. Be honest in your workload. Pag sinabi ni client mo na, can you do this? Be honest, no, I cannot. These are my workloads. I can share it with you. I need more time to finish this. And once this is done, I can go on and take that task na gusto mong i-assign. Pero kung gusto mo naman, meron din tayong pwedeng i-adjust dito sa mga binigay mo, so I can take that. Be honest with your client. Huwag kayong oo ng oo or mag-over-promise sa client nyo. Kasi again, guys, for you to build that trust with your client, you need to have an open communication. You need to earn the respect of your client. And how you can earn that respect, again, you need trust. And how you can build that trust, you need to communicate with your client. And guys, be honest with your client if you don't know what you're doing. Because if you will deliver the output and it's wrong, you are wasting each other's time. And that will frustrate your client. So if you don't know what you're doing, what you can do is to make sure, of course, nag-research ka na, Google, YouTube, GPT, and then if hindi mo talaga mahanap yung sagot, even using the resources of your own company, record a Loom video or show them the error message that you're getting, show them the steps that you took but still walang nangyayari, hindi mo alam kung anong gagawin, then let them help you. Pero siguro ang ma-advise ko, ang wag mo lang gagawin is yung wala kang ginawa at all. Like, hi client, I need your help how to do this. That's a big no-no. What you need to show your client is you already did something but you don't know still kung ano ang gagawin, kung tama ba yung ginawa mo. That's what I meant in being honest na hindi mo alam yung gagawin mo sa client mo. Kasi again, if you deliver the output and it's incorrect, you are just waiting. You are just wasting each other's time. And lastly, guys, do not rely on your motivation. Kasi if you are entering the freelancing industry, 1 to 3 days nakaka-excite siya. Like, wow, I will become a freelancer. But yung mga first week to third week that you are not getting anything in return, like no interviews, no one is replying, no one is noticing you, doon papasok sa stage na yon yung, oh, maybe this is not for me. Oh, nakakatamad na. Oh, maybe I should just look for another job. Doon ko sinasabi na wag kayong magre-rely sa motivation, wag kayong magre-rely sa mga positivity na pag medyo nagne-negative na yung nangyayari, medyo tinatamad na, medyo nawawala na ng gana, you will stop. Okay? Because if you will continue your journey and you will rely based on the aesthetic workspace, based on the amount of coffee that you had, based on the amount of returns that you are getting, madidismaya ka talaga. Kasi what if one of those is not attainable? What if wala kang aesthetic na workspace? What if walang nagre-reply sa proposal mo? What if hindi masarap yung kape mo that day? So doesn't mean na magsa-stop ka, 'di ba? Dapat hindi. No matter what, if you are dedicated and you are serious that you want to work in the comfort of your home and you want to grow alongside with the successful CEOs that are living in LinkedIn, do not rely on motivation. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you've learned something in this video. I will make sure that I will be uploading videos every week na. This is it. This is real. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram. I constantly post on those platforms about my daily ganap. So if you want to follow along, make sure to follow me on those platforms as well. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!